So, okay, this may go down as literally the dumbest crime in the history of the NFL. Like this is just mind-blowingly stupid what allegedly happened with DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar, both cornerbacks in the NFL. It's just, it blows. It's inconceivable that someone could potentially be this stupid, right? So DeAndre Baker, 2019 first-round pick by the Giants, number 30 overall. Dave Gettleman just really finding gems all over the place, right? Quinton Dunbar, who is a UDFA out of Florida, showing up and showing out for Washington, was recently just traded to Seattle for a fifth-round pick. Bright future there. The cornerbacks are accused of armed robbery. Great. And Baker also accused of assault. Great. So here's the facts from TMZ. Now, TMZ is a lot of things. Wrong is not usually among them. So here you go. Two NFL players, blah, 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 blah. According to police, the two men were partying in Miramar, Florida on May 13th, so that's 2 days ago, when things took a disturbing turn. Cops say Baker and Dunbar were allegedly hanging at a cookout, playing cards and video games when an argument broke out, and Baker whipped out a semi-automatic firearm. So now that's just media speak for, it was a pistol. It was a pistol. Cops say that the men began to rob party guests, with Dunbar assisting and taking watches and other valuables at the direction of Baker. At one point, cops say Baker directed a third man, who was wearing a red mask. Well, at least he's wearing a mask. Yeah, it's important these times nowadays. To shoot someone who just walked into the party, but fortunately no one was actually shot. Law enforcement says that the men made out with $7,000 in cash, along with several valuable watches, including $18K Rolex, $25K Hublot, and a pricey Demir's Piguet timepiece. I don't know watches. Nah. There are conflicting reports from witnesses about whether Dunbar was armed with a gun. Some say he was, others say he was not. One witness told the cops that they met Baker and Dunbar at a party a few days earlier in Miami, at which the NFL players had lost around $70K. Our sources tell us that the men had lost some money in high-stakes card games and other forms of gambling. So, great. Just amazing. Where, yeah, if you got in deep, this is also a gambling PSA. Just don't gamble with money that you aren't ready to lose. So apparently, if all these stories add up, Dunbar, Baker allegedly were losing some money at cards. Then a couple days later, similar game. It's like robbing your own poker game with people that you know. I mean, this is just wow. I'm just apoplectic how shockingly stupid this is. So Baker was a first-round pick, who, by the way, is not hurting for money. All right, so even as a number 30 overall, he was a first-round pick. He had a $9 million guarantee contract, which I'm sure if the Giants cut him, they'll try to get out of some sort of morals clause, which may be easy to do, right? And also, he had a $5.675 million signing bonus. So signing bonus up front, he had that in his pocket. After taxes, that's like $2.5-3 million, right? And it was also due to make $973,000 as a base salary this year. Quinton Dunbar, again, UDFA coming in, not making a lot of scratch, maybe losing $70K in that card game. That's a lot of dough, right? But restricted free agent, was due to make $3.25 million on his tender this year. Wow. And also, again, in broad daylight, with people that you knew, and I don't know, you're just banking on them not talking to the cops, not snitching. I mean, maybe, but it got out, right? And there were arrest warrant was sworn out and brought into custody 2 days later. But I mean, if I'm a Giants fan, like I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed. Where you have this first round pick, and then just after a year of play, you just do this. Right, and with Dunbar, who was up and coming, it was a really nice, put together a couple of really nice years of Washington. The Seahawks just traded for your ass, right? Plus, he literally did one of those Zoom meetings, press conferences for the local media jackals that day that this story broke, and he said in the meeting, quote, "I just hope to repay the Seahawks with the way I carry myself as a person." Like he said that while he knew 2 days ago he just robbed a bunch of fools at a card game. Just wow. Also, all right, so this is pointed out by our guy Master's Fascinated. This was Quinton Dunbar's interception celebration. Getting patted down, getting put into custody. Just wow. DJ Swearinger, the arresting officer. DJ, did you read him his Miranda rights? It's very important. It's just wow. And also, it may not be a hyperbole. I mean, their careers may be over, depending if the DA wants to flex on them or not. High-profile cases, sometimes they tend to do. Although it is Florida. Yeah. But even in Florida, so you look at the sentencing guidelines. So, again, armed robbery in Florida. Carrying a firearm or other deadly weapon in course of committing a robbery, first-degree felony, punishable by up to life in prison if convicted. Or carrying a weapon in the course of committing robbery, first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years in state prison and a fine of $10,000. Well, they're hurting for money if they're just robbing a game for $70K. Cool. Armed robberies, all that stuff. So from the sounds of the story, it sounds like Dunbar was much more an accessory, and Baker was the one, was the driving force on this whole issue. So Baker may be hammered more than Dunbar. But, I mean, Dunbar still may be pinged here. I think both cornerbacks are going to get cut from the respective teams as they fight this out in the legal process. Like, even if they plead this down, I could still see both of them facing jail time, which I like. Hell, OJ got 33 years for armed robbery, and he wasn't even carrying the gun. Well, he got 33 years because he was OJ, but that whole thing, it's just, wow. Like, once he heard all the details of this, where you have multi-millionaire athletes just throwing it all away in broad daylight, robbing people that they knew who could easily ID them over, relatively small amounts of cash. Wow. Just great. Just great, man. Season needs to get here. I mean, this extended off season, I don't know. Yeah, they should have been OTAs, but it is what it is. All right, your thoughts. DeAndre Baker, Quinton Dunbar, allegedly armed robbery. Great. Yeah, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings and NFL takes. That's what we do. We want to support the work, pull something in the Venmo. Otherwise, we'll have to go rob a card game, allegedly. Take some watches. We'll fence them. There you go. Skull, production value.